Thank you so much for choosing CBS 8 for your morning news here. We appreciate that. 6 a.m. on this Tuesday. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Nada Iranpour, and getting in the swing of things,
Yes.
the routines maybe
Back at it.
Yeah, let's see what's going on with our weather, how people need to dress for today. Hi, Evan.
It's just a mild day out there. Overcast skies should be kind of the centerpiece of it, but we'll have some breaks in the clouds for some sun to peek through. As we kick off the morning, there are a few showers right off of the coast. Right now, it seems like they will stay off of the coast. However, coastal communities seem to be the best in line to see maybe a few sprinkles pop up over the course of the morning and the afternoon hours. As the afternoon comes about, temperatures should be in about the mid-60s, 64 out by the coast, 66 inland, where we're already starting to see some of those clouds break apart and getting a little bit of the sun peeking through. That'll kind of ebb and flow through the day. 53 for the mountains in the cooler range, and the deserts are in the 60s out there. I want to send things over to Vanessa Paz. She's checking in on how things are looking as far as traffic goes this morning.
Good morning. All right, good morning. Let's go ahead and showcase a crash. I actually just had to type this in a second ago. It came in to the CAD at about 6 a.m. And it's actually showcasing that we have a crash in the San Ysidro area. I'm not sure if we could pull up my graphics. Stand by for a second here. Okay, so they're working on it, but I just want to give you a heads up. If you are traveling, let's say in from TJ, and you're headed on the 5 North where it meets the 805 in the South Bay, look out for a crash. So here it is, again, right at that split between the 805 and the 5 freeway as you make your way northbound near Camino de la Plaza. All right, let's go ahead and give you a wider view of what's happening across the county, because we're looking at pretty green drives, which means we're at average speeds. If you're traveling in from Chula Vista or National City this morning, average speeds anywhere between 65, 70 miles per hour. Same deal coming in from the East County. Coming up a little later, we'll take a look at what your Tuesday travel times have in store. That's all ahead. Back to you guys.
In just 3 hours here, a judge will decide whether the man convicted in the deadly Santana High School shooting is eligible for resentencing.
This shooting happened more than 20 years ago. CBS 8's Chris Groh live outside of San Diego Central Courthouse to tell us about the hearing that'll take place and recap what happened there. Chris.
Yeah, good morning. So today a judge will decide Andy Williams' fate. Again, has been in prison for a long time, could potentially get out sooner than the sentence that he was originally given. Now, this hearing will take place around 9 a.m. A judge will determine if Williams is eligible to be resentenced and thus released from prison. That's because of a law that allows individuals who have served at least 15 years of a life without parole sentence for crimes committed when they were under the age of 18 to petition to have their sentences recalled and modified. Williams is in the midst of a 50-year to life sentence for killing 2 classmates and shooting 13 others at Santana High School in Santee on March 5th, 2001. He originally faced more than 400 years behind bars. However, he pleaded guilty and was sentenced as an adult to state prison for that sentence. Now, Williams was also eligible for parole last year because of another state law that went into effect after his sentencing after the crime, but that was denied. So his parole was already denied. Remains to be seen again if that's going to matter or impact again the judge's decision today for resentencing, but we'll have to see exactly how the process plays out again. All of this taking place at 9 a.m. this morning. Back to you guys in the studio.
Chris, thank you for that. And now this morning, former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife are back in a Brooklyn detention center after pleading not guilty to federal narco-terrorism charges.
During yesterday's hearing, Maduro lashed out, declaring himself innocent and a decent man, and still the constitutional president of Venezuela, before the judge cut him off. Their next court date is set for mid-March. Lawmakers are split on whether the U.S. is at war and if Congress should have been consulted before Saturday's military operation in Caracas.
We are not at war. We don't expect troops on the ground.
Without question, this is war. They bombed half of Caracas and then removed him.
Coming up here in a few minutes, President Trump's warning to other countries, plus the concern for Venezuelan immigrants in the U.S. with pending asylum cases.
This morning, California Highway Patrol advising drivers that you're going to want to plan ahead.
Yeah, that's because a major construction project near the San Ysidro port of entry is expected to impact traffic. CBS 8's Regina Yarita live in San Ysidro with details on when this could all start here. Regina?
Yeah, good morning, guys. It's going to be a bit of a headache for drivers who are heading south on Interstate 5 near the San Ysidro border crossing. You definitely want to plan ahead because of this roadway construction project that will be causing heavier traffic. Now, according to the California Highway Patrol, the U.S. General Services Administration, in coordination with Caltrans, will begin a two-phase construction project aimed at improving safety, security, and traffic flow at the San Ysidro port of entry. The project carries a price tag of $2.7 million, and phase one begins tonight at 9 o'clock, continues through early Thursday morning. During that time, crews will conduct a 56-hour closure of the Camino de la Plaza on-ramp, along with the 6 lanes of southbound Interstate 5. As a result, southbound traffic on both the 5 and 805 will be reduced and merged into fewer lanes as cars approach the border. Phase 2 starts Thursday morning and runs through January 23rd with 1 southbound lane closed while work continues in the center median. Officials say access to Tijuana through the El Chaparral crossing and the Camino de la Plaza off-ramp will remain open, but cars should expect delays and, of course, should be extra cautious as that construction zone continues and starts tonight but continues through Thursday, and then from Thursday again phase 2 will continue through January 23rd. I'm Regina Urita, CBS 8.
Regina, thanks for the update there.
Okay, let's talk about the weather for today. You said clouds, right, Evan?
Yeah, clouds.
Okay, we can
That's
deal with
gonna
that.
be
Yeah.
the main staple over the course of the day. Outside right now, things are pretty mild. We're in the 30s in our mountain ranges, so keep in mind that if you're out toward our local mountains, including Julian, you're a little chilly to start off the day. 40s in Escondido and 50s in downtown San Diego, but most of us are holding on to a pretty decent amount of that cloud cover as we kick off the morning. Want to thank Barry Allman for sending this gorgeous photo in from last night. It helps capture that idea that we are still a bit unsettled out there, a accumulation of clouds out there. We're still going to be seeing some of those clouds through the day today, tomorrow, and Thursday, though what we're likely to see going into tomorrow is much more of that accumulating rain. Today is going to be reserved for maybe a few sprinkles, and then by tomorrow, the more widespread stuff in the mix. Let's talk about that rain and cloud forecast. If we run this through the rest of the day today, you can see how there's almost nothing popping up, maybe a few hundredths of an inch if we're lucky, but then going into tonight and early tomorrow, that's when things start to pick up in intensity. By the time we get to about the noon hour, it looks like a lot of those showers will have become a little bit more widespread. There's nothing exactly covering the entirety of the map here, but it just kind of goes to show that things will be sprinkled here and there at times. Things taper off by the time we get to Thursday, I'd say. There are some models that still hold a few showers over the mountains for Thursday, although I'd say it's less than likely that we'll see all that much along the coast and inland by Thursday afternoon. San Diego should come in just in line with average. 66 degrees is that forecast high. Ramona about 2 degrees cooler than average, and in Borrego Springs about 3 degrees cooler than average. When we get to the upcoming weekend, you can see those warmer temperatures in the mix. 71 degrees out by the coastline by Sunday. A nice boost in temperatures of about 10 degrees. Same goes for your inland valleys, going from 62 on Thursday up to 74, so about 12 degrees that we'll see that climb. We'll also be seeing a lot more sunshine and some offshore Santa Ana wind, so be prepared for drier conditions in the mix by the weekend, but at least a notable change on the horizon than what we've been working with over the last couple days with the cooler temperatures, the cloudier skies, and the daily chance for rain. That'll all come to a close after Thursday. Vanessa Paz is standing by with the check of traffic on our Tuesday. Good morning.
Good morning. Ooh, the mountains dropping down to the 20s overnight. That's really cold. All right, let's go ahead and take you to the South Bay, San Ysidro specifically. That's where we're continuing to track a crash involving a single car. The truck reportedly involved moved to the right shoulder. And this may slow things down if you're traveling inbound from, let's say, TJ or San Ysidro near Camino de la Plaza, near the outlets. All right, let's go ahead and zoom on out and see what's happening. I'm still not tracking any major crashes nor delays. Always happy to report that. We're at full freeway speeds from the South Bay to the East County to the North County. No major issues headed southbound and from Oceanside and Encinitas. Here's a live look. In fact, this is a frozen shot of the 5 in both directions right at 28th, but you get the picture. Traffic really light as you make your way into downtown San Diego this morning. Here's the 5, but this is a little more north near Genesee. In fact, that's at Genesee Avenue exit as folks make their way southbound in from Del Mar. Right side of your screen is that northbound drive as you exit La Jolla, the UTC area, headed towards Del Mar near the top of the Golden Triangle. All right, 10 to nearly 30 minutes right now to get you southbound in from Encinitas as well as Escondido. If you're traveling along the 78, headed in from the 15 interchange towards the 5, it'll take you about 15 minutes. So this is what we always look for, right? All of the green. That means we're at average speeds, and it's looking fairly quiet this Tuesday morning across the board. 10 to 15 minutes coming in from San Ysidro on the 54, and under 5 full span of the Coronado Bridge. All right, 6:11 is the time. Let's go ahead and pull up those border wait times. About an hour to get you inbound from Otay Mesa's port of entry, and even longer in from San Ysidro's port of entry. About an hour 20 or so at last check.